Hello, good people. How's everyone doing? I trust that everyone is doing well. I had to remote that thing started a little bit quicker than what I thought it would. But anyway, good to see everyone. Um, I'm a little tired myself. Have had a busy day, been a busy weekend, what have you. Went out and did the lawn today. It was too late to call my lawn guy. He wouldn't get it done in time, so had to get out there and do it myself. I didn't want it to look the way it was looking, so one of my neighbors had did theirs, and their yard was looking nice and tight, and mine was looking not as much. Being that I used to have a small landscape service, I had to do better than what it was looking. So, anyway, got out there and did it myself. So, of course, the sun wore me out a little bit, so I'm a little beat down. Had my grandson Amir over here, and he, of course, is a handful, but all is well, all is well. I had a productive weekend myself. Hopefully you all have as well. Excuse me. I always get dry off when I'm in here. So, anyway, I do not like what I'm seeing on that screen, but too late now. Gotta push forward. I see a glare on my glasses, so I'll take them off, even though I do like my glasses. Anyway, of course, I always say I talk with quite a few people in the run of a week and the different things that I do, different things that I take part in. And I was thinking on this morning of something I wanted to talk about. If you've been following me, I like to talk about generational wealth. I like to talk about building your financial knowledge. Often I talk about, generational wealth and building your financial wealth. So here we go. Generational wealth. Here's my thoughts. My thoughts were, for most of us, it's like that could be like a foreign thing. Generational wealth. It can be a foreign thing because we can know what it means. Generational wealth. We can look it up. We can know what it means. We can know the definition of it, but may not be able to perceive it. So when I say that, what I mean was when you might not be able to receive it, as we've never seen or experienced a real time what the actual process looks like, right? So to some, it could seem like a fairy tale saying, it could seem like a wishful thinking, or maybe even a pipe dream that's never going to come true. Well, I looked at the flip side of that. So the flip side of that, if you happen to be a part of a super wealthy family like the Rockefeller family, it's like when you're born, you're already a super wealthy person, right? You already have a trust fund, you already have a portfolio set up, and so, to a person like that, poor is like a foreign. They can't grasp that. They can't perceive that. What does that mean? You would think a poor person is someone that has a net worth of so and so. So it's two sides of the coin. I was thinking of the Kennedy family. The Kennedy family. When you're born into the Kennedy family, also well off, right? If you're born into the Walton family, what Walton family? The Walton family that happens to own Walmart. Super wealthy family, right? Born into that family, you're set whether you have a job when you get grown, or whether you just blow through your trust fund, what have you. Excuse me. But the point I'm trying to make is that generational wealth to some folks can sound like a pipe dream. Can sound like, I hear it, I can read it, but it's not real. Nobody lives like that. Well, we do know that there are some folks who do live like that. And if there are some folks who live like that, that means one, it's possible. Two, there has to be a recipe. There has to be a roadmap. There has to be something you could follow to get there. So we may think, okay, it's possible to get there, but it's impossible for a person like me. Maybe I didn't graduate high school, maybe I never went to college, maybe this, maybe that, what have you. Um, I'm a veteran. I was in the United States Army for 8.5 years. And if it's one thing I learned repeatedly, but I finally learned it, says excuses are like rear ends. They didn't use rear ends. That's the polite way of saying it. Excuses are like rear ends. Everybody has one. So don't offer excuses. Offer results. Offer options. Give us something we can do. Give us something we can work with. And then maybe there's a workaround for what it is we cannot do. And that's a motto that I have carried on into every area of my life. When I run into an obstacle, when I run into a problem, first thing I want to know is, has anyone else ever been able to accomplish this? If someone else has been able to accomplish this, then it's not new. If it's not new, I think I can repeat it. I think I can duplicate it. I may fail the first time, but they taught me when I was young. If at first you don't succeed, try again. I don't think anything could stop me in life. The only thing that could stop an individual is the individual. When you quit, when you give up. As long as you stay in the battle and you're trying to do better and get to the next point, the next A point or the B point or the C point, whatever the point may be, as long as you're pushing forward and you're gaining and you're making strides, you're making headway, then you're winning. So I said that to say, unless you quit, you're not out. If you're not out, then you're winning. It's a point of view. It's a perspective. It's up to the individual how it is they perceive where they are at, where they are going, and what's in front of them. I choose to perceive. They say some folks see life as a glass half empty. Some folks see life as a glass half full. I didn't understand that for the longest. Understand it now. I understand it now. When you have hope in something, when you have belief in something, when you can see yourself being able to accomplish something, regardless of what the obstacles are, regardless of what the statistics say, when you see yourself being able to accomplish something, nothing can stop you when you can see it yourself, when you can believe it yourself. So I said all that to say it's a mindset. One of the influencers who I consider a mentor, Jasper Racine, he's always talking about the mindset. It's Sunday. I'm a Christian. And as a Christian, it's all about belief. It's all about a mindset, what it is you choose to believe in. Do you choose to receive Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior? It's a choice. Choose it, not choose it. There are consequences one way or the other. Same way in the stock market and crypto. There are consequences one way or the other. What do you have confidence? What have you researched? What do you believe in? All of this is building on growing or leaving generational wealth. So I heard multiple of my mentors talk about generational wealth. And one way some of them, Larry Jones summed it up, the generational wealth is something you hold on to for generations and you leave it for generations. Okay, I can understand that. That's one perception of generational wealth. I think another perception could be, I think I'm getting ahead of myself, but what another way could be, I'm believing for generational wealth. And I have a path that I intend to follow to get there. So a generation is, myself and my spouse, my wife, that's one generation. Our kids, that's another generation. Okay, then our grandkids, that's another generation. And then your grandkids' kids, your grandkids' children, that's another generation. Generational wealth. Okay, someone say that's a lot. Well, it's a lot, but it's a lot according to how you see it. Once upon a time, I thought $50,000 was a lot of money. Well, I surpassed making 50,000 some time ago. Thought making 100,000 a year was, great amount of money. Okay, where am I going with this? I did a limo job one night, and been driving limo for over 18 and a half years, right? So I did a limo job, and there was this gentleman I had already finished a 4-hour job. I was about to call it a night. Boss man called and he said, you got time to do another job? Sure, man. What's the job? Well, the job was go back. I was just left downtown, about to head to the garage, clean the car up, park it. He said, go back downtown, go to such and such spot. It was a club. You call this man, send me the name and number, and he'll come out, and he want the car for at least 4 hours. He might want 5 or 6. Here's what his price is for the 4 hours. So the limo, you pay for the job up front. Go to the spot, call the young man. He comes outside, has this water money. I don't know what it is. I just know it's a water money. So the job for the boss man for the 4 hours, I think it was like $4.25. So the gentleman pulls out, he peels off his water money, $350. He gives it to me. I say, well, the job is $4.25. He said, well, that was for you and what you're doing. He said, but no problem. He peeled off $4.25, gave it to me. He peeled off $4.50, gave it to me. He said, that's for the job. And the $350 is yours. As a matter of fact, he gave me another $150. He said, this $500 is for you. And I was like, wow, that's not how it's normally done. Normally the way it's done, you put the work in for the service, and at the end of the job, if they're happy with your service, they put something in your hand, put a tip in your hand. Now, mindful, understanding the details. They say the devil is in the details. The detail is when you negotiate a limo contract, you have the contract is built on the time that you're asking for, and so you got the job, and then you have the tip is built in, and they understand that the tip is 20% gratuity of whatever the run is, and tax. So when you calculate the contract, you tell them what time you need, you give the agenda, places you want to go, this is what it's going to cost you, that's the run, that's the tip, and that's the run, the gratuity, and the taxes. But it's customary at the end of the night, if the driver, the chauffeur provided, accepting the service, you put something in their hand, right? So sometimes you get something, sometimes you don't, because everybody knows it's built into it. So this man was giving me a $500 tip up front for a 4-hour job. And I was like, wow, that was like, I had been driving for years at that point, never received a tip like that. And this man is giving it to me up front. So I say, excuse me, hold on. I'll take the $350 now and hold the $150 to the end of the night. And if you're happy with my service, go ahead and give me the other additional $150. Found out by the end of the night that was a bad mistake. The young man, he and his companion got into an argument. She jumped in an Uber, he jumped in a cab, they went home. Didn't notice the 5 hours. I didn't notice the run was for 4 hours. He extended for 5 hours. He came out at an hour and a half, said take half of the party home. They're not feeling well. Fine, took the half party home. Got back, he said take 2 more people to their hotel. Did that. Got back and he said just hold it down, and when we're ready we'll let you know. So at the end of the night, the last 2 people at the party came out, and they were like, we're ready to go. So I called the guy. I said, well, I'm out here, and the club is closed, and everybody's come out, and I don't see you where you're located. He told me how he and this girl got in an argument. She jumped in an Uber, he jumped in a cab, and they're home in bed. They kissed and made up. I said, okay, well, how you want me to meet up with you to get that other $150? He said, well, I gave you 350, right? I said, yeah, you did. And, you gave me 150. I gave it back to you. I said, let me earn it. He said, well, give me a call tomorrow when you get up. Called him at noontime. He was sober now. And he said that, well, how about next time we use y'all? So I learned it. Should have took my 500 tip up front. Now, why did I bring that story up? I brought it up because I said he had a lot of money. I think his family was wealthy, and I think he was an attorney. And for going out that night, he had like 12,000 he had with him just going out that night. Took out him and a party of about 8 folks. $12,000 for the night. Didn't have no problem kicking out the limo money, kicking out the $500 tip, paying for the drinks, the food, and whatever his party, whatever their desires were. So my thought is, how many of us can on a Friday night set a budget of $12K to go out and have a good time with some family and friends? The lesson that I learned from that: money is relative. It's relative far as how you see it, what you think of it, and how you respect it. Didn't say that for you to go and blow $12,500 on a night. I said it to say how it can change your perspective, your perception of how you value money. To have $12,500 on Friday night to blow, you're used to having large sums of money to take care of all your expenses on a daily, weekly, monthly, annual basis. Not everybody, willing to sacrifice $12,500 on a Friday night to go out and have a good time with family and friends. So in order to do that, your life and your perspective is not on a person that don't have a clue about generational wealth. That's my point. Okay, all right, let me try to sum this up because I thought I would have been done. I thought I was going to be done in 7 or 8 minutes. I'm already I don't have my glasses on. Woo, 17 minutes. All right, so I want you to know that there's a blueprint. I want you to know that it doesn't happen overnight, but I also want you to know that it's not impossible. It can happen. If it happened for others, it can happen to you. If it can happen for me, it can happen for anyone. I do not have a college degree, but I have plenty of knowledge. I have plenty of college. Currently, I work for a great company. They take pretty good care of myself and my family. I do limo on the side. I've been doing it for over 18 years. I haven't been doing it that long because it haven't been a blessing to myself and my family. It's been good to me, right? And I do Uber on the side. I've been doing that longer than I thought I would, but it's worked out well for me and the purpose for which I do it for. I know I've said it several times before that I invest 80% of my Uber money week over week. So continue to do Uber because it funds my investing, and I've saw the benefits of investing over since 2020. So if you get in the game, if you get off the bench and you get in the game, the financial game of investing, you will begin to understand and see things like on your job. I'm pretty sure if you've been doing your job for a while, you can do your job pretty good. You can do it fast, you know the shortcuts, you know how to be efficient, you know how to be proficient, and yada, yada, yada. Same thing with the market. Once you get in it, then you start understanding it more and more and more. You start understanding the trends, the waves, the highs, the lows, what news is, what world news you hear that feeds certain things to run up, feeds certain things to run down, and what have you. I got 2 screens up there I'm looking at the crypto bubbles, and I'm looking at one of my portfolios in case I decided to talk about one of those things. So I was glancing at it because I see different things going on with different ones, and I'm looking at my notes here. But yeah, so I was wondering, someone might say, is there a timeline on how long it takes to build generational wealth? And I think I noted, I don't think I noted, the main thing that you need to take away when you ask the question, timeline. I want you to know that one is, it is within anyone's reach if that anyone is willing to learn and grow their knowledge. And then if that one is willing to sacrifice and put in the work, it can actually be a lot sooner than you think. So is there a timeline? That's not the biggest question you should have at this time. The biggest question you should have is, can I do this? And then if you believe you can do this, put in the work. Begin to grow your financial wealth, your financial knowledge, and take the steps that it takes to accomplishing generational wealth. Yes, it is very much possible. One of my mentors that I met through Larry Jones, Mommy Trader, I would look her up on YouTube. If I was you, I would look up Mommy Trader. She specialized in dividends, stock. I love dividend stocks, yes, but that's not my biggest goal. And if you were to hear her testimony, her story of how she came about getting into investing and how long it took her to reach, what's that, 7 figures, $1 million. It took her and her husband 8 years to reach 7 figures, 1 million. And I was like, wow, you know, I can do that. I can duplicate that. I can repeat that. Hopefully it won't take me 8 years, but whatever. Well, so I got in and I developed my strategy and my plan of attack, and I started working it, and things started falling in place rather quickly. And I was like, wow, man, it's amazing how this compound interest in investing really works. And I did that for 2 years, and then the market started crashing. Because I started in 20, market started crashing. I say 2 years, but the market started crashing. Some say 1 January 22. Me personally, I say it started crashing 31 November of 21. So, but I was always learning and growing and watching the overall market and how things works and how the commodities that I was in and how it was working for me. But I also wanted to know how other things were working, and that helped me. I was curious, right? So my curiosity caused me to look at different things, like on Robinhood, it used to show me, now you have to like search for it, but it used to show me the top 10 daily gainers, the top 10 daily losers, and I would go through that list every day. And I would go through individually each one of the top 10 gainers, the top 10 losers. I would try to research what was causing the gainers to be gainers and what was causing the losers to be losers. And so I was, in a sense, I was creating my own chart, right? Didn't know that at the time. And I saw the ones that were routinely in the top 10 in a year, right? And I was taking averages as what have you. So when I was beating into everybody about Amazon, pick up Amazon, you know, it's at a great price. Pick up Google, it's at a great price. Pick up Shopify, it's at a great price. Well, I had watched these things. Those are not the only things I had watched, but I watched these things for 2 solid years. And I was impressed with the way the companies performed, what they were doing. When you think of Amazon, we all use Amazon. I used to work for FedEx Express. Amazon used to ship a lot of things to FedEx Express, but they spread the wealth around. They used FedEx Express, they used USPS, they used UPS, they used DHL, they used everybody. It was feeding everybody, right? Maybe not equally, but they were feeding everybody. And then USPS was piggybacking their overnight deliveries through FedEx. How do I know this? Because I was working for FedEx, okay? So I saw a lot of Amazon boxes, right? And then when Amazon, as smart as the people who run it, I seen all of that when they bought their Mercedes trucks and then they started opening up the distribution centers. I was like, wow, they are going to be hurting on all those companies that was leaning heavily on Amazon, right? So in my own little mind, I could understand the value and the growth of Amazon by what I could see for my own self. Didn't need to watch a chart for that. I could see for my own self. We have I think three, maybe four, but I know of three for sure distribution centers we have for Amazon right here in my county. And I mean, within the last 3 years, they just popped up. Boom, 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 boom. I don't have to see what kind of growth Amazon has when I can see it for myself. But I can go and Google things that I can see. They didn't just do it here, you know? So I'm saying I saw the value of Amazon. Amazon has been good to me, has paid me a lot of money. But that's just one thing. I'm just pointing out generational wealth is possible. So, Mommy Trader, it took her 8 years. For me, I believe it's gonna take a little bit less than that. I had a plan of 8 years, but the market started crashing. And when the market started crashing, I was able to capitalize on a lot of things that was going on. Not only that, I was continuing to build my financial knowledge daily, right? Daily, I'm listening to different mentors. Daily, I'm adding to that list. Daily, I'm Googling things, you know, I'm reading books. I'm doing different things to build my financial knowledge, which helped me to be able to take advantage of opportunities in the stock market, take advantage of opportunities in crypto. If you've been watching the stock market, if you're in the game, your portfolio should be looking pretty good. If it's not looking pretty good, then you look at the opportunities that you were hearing about, but that you were too scared to take advantage of. Or you're looking at some of the things you took advantage of and you see how you're up, but how you could have been up much more had you not been so fearful of taking a risk. Okay, I gotta close this thing out because I think about risk and I want to go on and on and on. You know, we risk the lotto. When we don't win, we don't stop. We go right back in and buy more, right? Every week. And we don't calculate by the end of the month how much we spent in the lotto. All we know is if we win, we win. If we don't, gotta write it off as a loss, take another risk next week. So in the stock market and crypto, you take a risk if you've done a little bit of research. I'm trying to talk fast and cut it off. But if you've done a little bit of research and you're investing into a company or a currency that has a lot of uptick going on in the pipeline, things that they're working on to better their company or better their currency, then it's just a matter of time. So it's like a calculated risk. In the lotto, if you lose, if you buy a scratch off and you don't win, that's gone. You just gotta write it off. If you buy a lotto ticket and once they post them numbers, if you don't get it, that's gone. You just write that off. In stock and crypto, it's just a matter of time. It's a calculated risk. So if you continue to do your DCA and dollar cost averaging week over week, that same amount, you want to stay in the lotto, stay in the lotto. Just reduce your whatever you're putting in it, reduce it in half. Put half of it in stock and or crypto or both, the other half in the lotto, and see how they both perform in like 3 months or 6 months or 12 months. After a while, you'll start risking all of your money in stock and crypto when you see the return you get from stock and crypto versus the return you get from the lottery or the return you get from McDonald's, eating McDonald's 5-6 days a week, which is not healthy for you. You want McDonald's, continue to eat McDonald's. Just cut it in half. 3 days a week, 2 days a week. Bring you some leftovers from the house or go to Walmart, pick you up some lunch meat and some bread, what have you. Invest half of it. Go to McDonald's for half of it. Again, when you look back at how your money has performed in 90 days or 6 months or a year, you'll make more and more sacrifice when you begin to put a portion of your money to work and you see the returns you get out for that. Nobody won't have to tell you. You won't have to look at me to encourage you to get in the game and make sure you're investing. Okay, I'm at, wow, way longer than I should have been just talking about generational wealth. The main point, the main takeaway, get in the game. Start building your wealth. And sooner or later, in building your financial wealth, you'll see the opportunities for generational wealth. In other words, you'll see that I'm not just making enough that I'll be able to take care of myself and my companion in retirement. I'll also have enough to be able to begin to help my kids in the here and the now. So maybe they'll be encouraged to get in the game when I can help them with a nice down payment on a car, or pay off their car, or nice down payment on a house, or pay off their house. They see you making money moves like that. Hey, how you doing this? Building generational wealth, helping your family be better in one of our tomorrows, right? Okay, thank you for your time. Hopefully you were able to hang in there for the whole 30 minutes of me going on and on and on. Hopefully I've said something to encourage you, to lift you up, and get off the bench. Get in the game. Let's build some generational wealth. Take care. Be blessed continually, my friend.